birthday was yesterday and I got quite a bit of books and I'm so excited. First of all, I'm so like grateful and thankful for everybody that got me a book, obviously. I think I'm gonna start with my most anticipated book. Now, I have to say I'm sorry to my brother because he knows that I talk, like, he's the person that I talk about books to, not with, but to so often. Like, he'll literally just be sitting there minding his own business and I cannot keep my mouth shut just talking about random books that I have read, books that I haven't read continuously. So here's the book that he got me, The Atlas 6. I have been talking about this book for so long to him. I've been wanting to read this book for so long. It just seems so amazing, and I literally found out like last week that it has illustrations in it. Look at that. It's for each of the 6. Like, that is so cool. So if you didn't know, The Atlas 6 is a dark academia fantasy type thing where they use, not fantasy type thing, it is fantasy. They use magic, and apparently it's like science-based, more physics-based magic. There's the 6 of them going out on like a quest. They're being recruited to be like the society's best somethings. I don't even know. Well, anyway, they're being recruited to the Alexandrian Society for something. It literally just says recruition, initiation, don't know what it's for. And pretty much 5 of them go through and one of them dies. Like, one of them will be eliminated. That's how it works. So yeah, honestly I'm so excited. Like, it looks so cool. Also, the cover is really cool and it was self-published, so go off, Olivia Blake. And I was looking at the names of her other books the other day and I chuckled at one of them because it's in French and I know what it means. So yeah, The Atlas 6. The next book is Play It As It Lays by Joan Didion. I got this book for myself. You need to give yourself a birthday present if you have the ability to. Like, it's a nice little thing that's like, hey, I appreciate myself. Let me give myself a little something. This book I've already started. I'm about halfway through. So Joan Didion is an author. She writes, why is that so hard for me to say? She writes fiction and nonfiction about living in Los Angeles in the 1960s. Honestly, it's really interesting. Like, it's not super fast-paced book because of the fact that it is like a literary fiction, which is my favorite genre, but it's not always the most fast-paced, but it's great, and the chapters are super short. Like, super short. Okay, so the next book I did get for my birthday, but I don't physically have it yet, and that's My Policeman by Bethan Roberts. I pretty much just want to read this because Harry Styles is gonna be in the movie My Policeman. I don't know too much about it. Pretty much it's this girl who's in love with her brother's best friend, Tom, and they get married, but it turns out Tom has a boyfriend on the side, so like, crazy, right? Yeah, that's pretty much all I know about it. I'm just really excited for the movie to come out, and honestly it seemed like a good book when I read the synopsis. The next book is Crying in H Mart by Michelle Zellner. This is a memoir from Michelle Zellner. Her stage name is Japanese Breakfast. She's a singer, and it's all about her life, about her crying in H Mart, about her growing up as an Asian American, her relationship with her family, and all that stuff. Honestly, it seems really pretty interesting, and I really like memoirs. Also, it's like 400 pages, but the text is this huge, so I'd give that a solid 200 pages of normal text. It'll be a pretty easy book to fly through. Now the next book is a hefty book, and that is The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Steve Larsen. I think I literally saw this book in 6th grade, like on a bookshelf, which is kind of surprising. That might not be true. It might have been a few years later, but I think it was around then. It's a mystery of this girl trying to find somebody who disappeared, and like stuff happens. So it's a mystery. I'm not like a huge mystery person, but this just seemed really interesting, and the one other mystery thriller that I have read I did like. So why not give it a shot? It's like 650 pages, and like the text is like average to small, so exciting. The next book I also don't have the physical copy of yet, but I did get it for my birthday. It's Severance by Ling Ma, and it's about a pandemic. Need I say more? I've heard it's really good, and I heard it's interesting to read in times of the pandemic, so we're gonna see how that turns out. Honestly, I'm like slightly terrified to see how they like twist it, because like how it makes me feel while being in a pandemic. I think it'll be really interesting to read it like during pandemic and then post-pandemic in a few years, if there's a post-pandemic. Yeah. After that, we have Amsterdam by Mcewen. He wrote one of my all-time favorite books, Atonement. I just love the way that he writes, and I heard that this is his most known work, and yeah, I literally just like love his writing. Everything that he touches turns to gold. Like, it's amazing. Yeah. Another book that I don't have the physical copy of yet, but that's also because it doesn't actually come out for sale until April, so I'll get it for my half birthday, is Ariadne by Jennifer Saint. It's the story of Ariadne. Ariadne's string. Is it string? I feel like whatever. She goes through the labyrinth, she helps people, she's immortal, and she helps heroes get through the labyrinth in Greek mythology. I feel like that was a really bad synopsis for like the last 2 or 3, but that's what you get. The next book is Rocket Boys by Homer H. Hickman Jr. This book is so good. I need to, wait, is this a memoir? This is a memoir. I just remembered, this is a memoir. This book, I read this in 6th grade. Our entire 6th grade class had to read it. And it was so good. We also watched the movie on it. That year we were going to space camp, so it was like a very space-filled year. This book is so good. When I read it in 6th grade, I was like astonished. I was never a big book person back then, but I was in love with this. And the movie October Sky is really good too. And I decided like I have to read it again. Like I have to see how much I adore it. And I just remember that it's a memoir. Like it's so good. It just feels, the way it's written, a lot of memoirs have like little bits that are like, yeah, that happened in real life, so you do have to put it in, but it's like kind of boring to read. This book was just pure bliss. I literally forgot that it was a memoir. It just felt like a fun, realistic fiction of a dude living in the times of Sputnik and going to space for the first time, and those are the Rocket Boys. The next book is the second most anticipated read for me, and that's Exciting Times by Noes Dolan. I think that's how you pronounce it. If it's not, my apologies. This book just sounded so good. I literally read the synopsis months ago, I think literally before it came out. It just sounds so good. It's like, I've heard it compared to Normal People a lot, and I really like Normal People. The rest of Sally Rooney's texts, more or less, but Normal People I really, really enjoyed, and I was like, okay. So it's this girl who lived in Dublin, which is where all of Sally Rooney's books are based, which I thought was really funny too. And it's another romance, kind of more on the side of like Sally Rooney's text, kind of more of a contemporary fiction, but still like romancy, but you really like see the characters themselves. And that was like a horrible description. I like can't speak right now, especially because I do need to go to school in like 20 minutes. Those are all the books that I got. I'm so thankful to everybody. I literally love books, as we know. These are the ones that I have so far, actually, physically at the moment, and I'm so happy. Like, books. I love books. Books are great. Books are knowledge. Books are fun and interesting, and like half the time better than movies and TV shows, so books. Thank you guys so much for watching. Check out my Goodreads. All of these are in my want to read, and hopefully soon will be out into my already read list. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye. You're always talking about leaving.